Group 4 Ethics Presentation. Our group considered the question, can an entire group of people be held accountable for the actions of a few? This scenario really comes into play when we are discussing events in history from long ago, as well as recent history. In answering this question, our group considered events such as the bombing of Pearl Harbor during World War II and the treatment of the Japanese Americans afterwards, the San Bernardino shooting and the shooter's allegiance to ISIS, and the recent attacks on Paris. So, can all people of the same race or religion as the people responsible for these attacks be held accountable? And should we turn away refugees who are suffering at their hands just as we are? So what does this scenario really boil down to? The biggest issue that we face today when dealing with this topic are refugees. So many of them are trying to escape terrible conditions, but due to the past, we are afraid to let them come to America. It boils down to, do we show them the love and kindness that Jesus would have and give them refuge, or do we turn them away in fear and let them continue to suffer for crimes that they did not commit? So when it really comes down to it, there are two simple answers to this question. Yes, we can blame them all and hold everyone accountable, or no, we cannot because it's unethical. But this issue really goes much deeper than that. The Bible offers several scriptures to assist in answering this question, such as Matthew chapter 25 verses 35 through 40 and Romans chapter 2 verses 1 through 3. The scripture of Matthew offers us guidance on being Christ-like when it comes to helping others, while Romans warns against judging others because we do not, as humans, have that authority. Our group genuinely felt that although Christians should, for the most part, agree on an answer to this question, they do not. As a Christian, we should always strive to do as Jesus would do, but that is not always what happens. Our group overall said that the answer to this question is no. We cannot hold an entire group accountable for the actions of a few, and while many would say the same, we feel that their actions would tell a different story. This is not to say that all people are hypocrites by any means. This is to say that when faced with a situation where a definite decision has to be made, not all people could follow through with the quote-unquote right answer. When examining the multiple answers to this question, we decided to compare the Christianity worldview to that of postmodernism in terms of how people with these worldviews would answer this question. So on one hand, we have Christianity, where we're taught to be Christ-like and do things that are pleasing to God. We are taught to follow the teachings of the Bible, so therefore we should be loving to one another and we should want to help those in need. Overall, we should all come to the same conclusion that holding all people of a race or religion accountable for crimes that they did not commit is extremely unethical. On the other hand, we have postmodernism. This is the create your own religion. So, the truth is whatever you want it to be. It's all about what you believe to be true. So what's true for one may not be true for another. Therefore, when answering this question, they may not see anything wrong with innocent people being blamed, or they may see it as very wrong. It's really up to the individual as to how they feel about it. So there's no one for sure answer when dealing with this question. The ethical theory that most influenced our decision on this scenario was the justice and fairness theory. This theory is described as being fair to all those who are involved. So with that being said, we felt that it is not fair to punish someone for a crime or an act that they did not commit. Therefore, with the outcome of our decision on this question, this theory lined up well with our answers. After much discussion and comparing of opinions, our group overall came to the same conclusion on our scenario. There were a lot of influences when our group was coming to a conclusion on this topic. One member of our group has a grandmother who is Japanese and who has faced persecution and discrimination many times since she has lived here, so this influences this group member's answer a great deal. Others of us who, although may not have a similar situation influencing us, still felt that it is unethical to hold entire groups accountable, whether it be based on our personal or religious beliefs. We also agreed on the fact that there is nothing wrong with being cautious. That is something we have to do on a daily basis. So when dealing with this issue, caution is not wrong. It's going beyond that and treating humans as if they are not just that, humans with rights.